Uh-oh. Hey, y'all. Hey. I was muted. Oh, my goodness. Hi, everyone. Welcome to BBG TV. I am so very excited to be here with you all tonight. So I see y'all logging in and coming on. So while you're coming in, please go ahead and tell me who you are, where you're watching from. Um, Tell me all of that in the comments. Tag some friends to come and hang out with us. Let us know the things, you all. Like, we're here and ready for an amazing show. So we want to get everybody in here so that they can benefit. Okay. So go ahead and introduce yourself in the comments. Share the broadcast on your page so that everyone knows what you are doing with your time right now. Tonight, we are talking about time management. And let me tell you something, sis, me, I needs it. So I don't know about you, but I know that I need this information. So I am trying to bring everybody along with me. I just shared it on my social spaces, told the people to get in here. I need you to do the same. Okay, so again, as y'all are coming in, go ahead and tag your friends, share it on your page so that they can see what you're doing, and then introduce yourself in the comments. Let us know where you're watching from. And also let us know if this is your very first time hanging out with us here on BBG TV Brown Girl Boss, because we love to celebrate our first time viewers and get you connected to our community. Candace said, needs it. Okay, sis, I'm trying to tell you, this is not a game. Like, I am here. If y'all don't get nothing out of this, I'm gonna get what I need, okay? Because sis is it. I needs to manage this time. All right. So grab your people. I know you have some other brown girls who need all of the tips that we have here from our Brown Girl Boss tonight. Go ahead and get them in here so that they can benefit just like us. And while you're doing that, grab something to write with, your notes on your phone, a pen and paper, your journal. Child, I promise you will absolutely be happy that you did. Ooh, we got some first timers with us. So Princess Joyful, first time hanging out with us. And then we also have Tiffany, first time hanging out with us. Love it. Welcome. Always give spirit fingers to our first time beautiful brown girl family. So welcome. While y'all are doing all of this, I am going to put a question up because we want to make sure that we are able to think through this and that you get your questions answered. Okay, so I'm going to let that kind of scroll across the screen there. But if you will go ahead in the comments after you have introduced yourself, after you've let us know where you're watching from, after you shared and told us if this is your first time, go ahead and answer that question. What is your biggest struggle when it comes to time management? Because that's going to kind of help us navigate through our conversation. And I got some more first timers I need to celebrate. So let me shout y'all out right quick. So we have Leonard is here for the first time. Welcome. And Tyree is here. Looks like Charlize is here with us for the first time. Oh my gosh, so many first timers. I'm so excited. Jaslyn is here for the first time. And then we also have my Cherie is here for the first time. Oh my gosh, y'all, I'm about to like jump out of my skin. I'm so excited. All these first timers. And then we also have, is this Michelle is here for the first time? Yes. And then I don't want to leave out our people who are always here hanging out with us. Hey, Caitlin, I see you. First timer from Houston. Let me give y'all spirit fingers and a cabbage patch, okay? Because we're excited that you're here. I don't want to leave out our BBG family that's always here with us. So those of you who are part of our BBG family already, type "Hey Beautiful" in the comments. And I'm doing this very purposefully because those of you who are here for the first time, you want to connect with the people that are always here because we're all about building community, okay? So go ahead and do all that. Y'all, I'm giving all kind of instructions. I'm in teacher mode today because I'm trying to make sure we get the things, okay? So let me go ahead and do our official welcome because I get so excited and then I forget what I'm supposed to do. So let me kind of bring it down a notch. Okay, hold on. Okay, here I am. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to BBG TV Brown Girl Boss. This is our virtual platform that allows us to connect with other like minded women who are on a mission to live their very best lives. We come to you weekly with programming that will challenge and inspire you and get the conversation going to connect with other beautiful brown girls. My name is Kimberland, and I come to you all from Pennsylvania. And guess what, y'all? It was like 60 something degrees today, and I'm excited about it. Y'all know I'm a Southern girl, so I went outside today without a jacket. But anyway, I digress. On tonight's show, we're going to be chatting it up with Brown Girl boss Sade Jones. During the month of March, here at Beautiful Brown Girls, we're focusing on renewal, rebirth, and rejuvenation just in time for spring. So tonight, we're going to be talking about efficient ways that we structure our day to prevent procrastination and inspire transformation. So I promise y'all, you're gonna want to pay close attention. You want your people to get in here so that they can participate in this conversation. Okay. So again, I have that question scrolling at the bottom. I see some of you have answered. So keep putting those answers into the chat so that we can honor those tonight. Okay. And let me tell you a little bit about our guests. So Sade Jones is the CEO and founder of The Fire Inside, where she provides time management coaching and content creation services. As a time management coach, she helps ambitious full-time professionals who want to spend more time developing their side businesses, full-time entrepreneurs, and freelancers who feel overwhelmed and all over the place become organized, improve their wellness, and achieve their goals. Sade was born and raised in Queens, New York. She's now in Atlanta. So any of our Atlanta BBG family, y'all want to make sure y'all shout her out. Her mission is to empower people to take the time to pursue what sets their souls on fire. And tonight, she is here to inspire the fire in us. So BBG family, let's welcome Sade to our community. So let me get her up here and in here. And there she is.
Hi, that was such a great intro. I'm so excited. Hi,
I'm
beautiful
your
brown girl community.
girl. We are so happy to have you here, honey. I don't know if you have checked out the comments yet,
Yes,
but the people said they needs it. Okay.
I'm
This
ready.
is not a game. Just saying. So let's kind of look at some of these things and maybe just start us off, Sade, by talking to us about how you even got into this business because I feel like your story is pretty compelling and quite a few of us can relate to it. So kind of start us off there by framing how you even started being a time management coach.
Yes, so I'm sure, like you said, plenty of you can relate to this. My story is not linear whatsoever. It all started off with me first in the advertising industry. So after I graduated college, I decided that I was going to go work in ads. It was mostly because I wanted to affect media and culture. And I knew that advertising was a big way that you could do that. So I started off in the ad industry. And then I realized as I was in the industry that it just wasn't what I thought it was. And I was having a hard time figuring out where my outlet would be. I was struggling being an adult. I think there's a lot of things we don't learn in college. And we find out, we're like, this is how you adults, how do you do this?
Real talk, real
Right.
talk.
And I was going through a lot of that. So I decided, okay, I'm going to go ahead and start learning more about personal development, personal growth. And then from there, I wanted to share it somewhere. So I started The Fire Inside Sade, which was my blog. I just would put, it was kind of like a journal entries for me. I would just throw up some things on there that I was learning. It started to pick up traction. And next thing I know, I was spending more time on that than I was on like my career. I was more interested in that. And as that grew, I kind of fell into influencing and brand collaborations. And then I started an e-commerce business on Amazon selling all these fitness products because I started to get really into wellness. And then I really came full circle when I started hosting events all over New York City. And they were all about personal development, goal setting, achieving those type of things. And impact people in person changed me. And I realized, okay, I want to do something like this on a grander level. And it was crazy. Right before the pandemic hit, like the week before, I decided I'm going to work with a business coach. I had met her prior. She was a speaker at one of my events. And I said, I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to make this crazy investment that I was really scared about and just do it. And she helped me realize that not only did I want to be a life coach, but I wanted to niche down into time management and help people get really structured, which I didn't realize was a thing. I was the friend who would always help people get structured. It just like came natural to me. I worked in account management when I was in my corporate career. It's just like figuring out schedules was just a thing. I was like, that's how I'm going to
Yeah.
figuring out my schedules. So from there, I launched this business, and then I think it was within 2 to maybe 4 months, I went full time, and now it's what I do full time, and I love it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So we were talking offline and I was telling you like all the things, right, that I
Mhm.
do. And I am trying to retire. Okay. So I can go ahead and follow like all these passions full time. So I definitely am here for this. Okay. Because I personally need it. I don't know about any of you all that are watching. Let us know in the comments if that resonates with you, and where you might be. So you might be in the side hustle world, that I have kind of found myself in. If that's you, drop that in the comments. Or maybe you're already an entrepreneur full time and you're just trying to figure out how to manage things better. So I want to go and kind of look back at some of the things that folks are saying, just to give us some context for what everyone feels their biggest struggle is, so we can be intentional as we're talking and keeping these things in mind.
Right.
So Candace said that her biggest struggle is being a workaholic and not making time for herself, right? And
Oh,
that's actually what I was just about to ask you about. So we're gonna come right back to that, Candace, because yeah. So looks like Taria has the same issue, hard time logging off of work on time since I'm home. So finding that work life balance seems to be a theme that is here. And then looks like Ruth said, understanding how much time she actually has versus the amount of time that she think that she has.
yep.
Okay. Linda said her biggest struggle is constant interruptions.
Okay.
So again, I think relating to that, not just being at home, but also those distractions and things that are coming up. Charlize said, my biggest struggle is giving up control of doing things myself and not trusting others to do it. Listen, girl, I'm about to get up and run from this computer because I can like relate to all of it. I'm so serious. Like, if y'all see me just get up, like, you already know what happened. Okay. And then Lanier said, I feel that it's hard to prioritize what is most important and how can I get everything I want done, completed thoroughly and effectively. Okay. So this was my question I was about to ask you, and it kind of goes to a few of those. So here at Beautiful Brown Girls, we talk a lot about self-care. And we know that sometimes self care, sounds super sexy, and people are thinking about their massages and their pedicures and the whatnots. But a lot of times, self care is about doing things that we should be doing, but don't necessarily want to be doing, right? But it's something that we really need to do. So if you could tell us, like, a main thing or one thing, if you were like, so if you put your hat on this is the thing that will get you closer to where you want to be. What is that thing?
That one thing is make time to plan and treat it like it's a meeting with yourself and it's important. You cannot miss it. Treat it like how you would a work meeting. Meet with yourself and plan out your week and in a glance. And I'm going to give an example from one of my clients. Actually, this happened earlier today. She, before we started working together, she spent $700 or more on food. She had a chef that would come in. She would go out to eat all the time. And she said she was too busy because she was working a corporate career and she also has a creative business on the side to make food, to cook, to prep meals. Now we've helped her structure her schedule where she sets out time to plan all her meals, do her grocery shopping, batch out a bunch of meals all at once or meal prep all at once. Now she's saving over $700 a month.
Wow.
Like, that's insane. That's all from pre-planning. She's like, she has way less anxiety, no stress. She feels way more in control of how her meals are going to be. She feels more confident about her health. It's a game changer.
Mm. Sis, so I'm gonna go ahead on and say I'm gonna need you to stay out my business, okay? Because yo, meal prepping, like real talk, I be like, ain't nobody got time for that. Like, I
Mhm.
don't have time to be sitting up here doing all this, making all these, putting these things in this Tupperware container. Like, help me, us, those of us. What does that look like, making that time to plan? I hear you saying, to protect the time, right? So treat it like it's an important meeting that we can't miss. But how we protected it, okay, now what?
All right. That's my favorite. This is my favorite framework. I'm going to share it with you guys. I usually only share it
Okay.
with clients, but
Oh, we
here's
got the exclusive, y'all.
yes.
Get your notebook. Okay, I'm sorry. Go
So
ahead.
the first part of it is to do something called a brain dump. And let me know if you've heard of that before. But essentially, a brain dump is getting everything outside of your head onto a sheet of paper. Just everything. Don't censor yourself. Get everything out. Everything you're thinking you need to get done in the next week. And I say the next week because I think if you think about it in years or months, your list will go on to 70 pages. If you think about it just in the next week, it'll probably be about a page and a half. And I've
Okay.
done this with plenty of people. Start there. Great, you have that done. The second step is now, and if you don't have your goals written out, you're going to need this step before even all of this, but having your goal list next to you and comparing the tasks that you have for yourself to what you actually are you want to achieve, whether that's your yearly goals, your quarterly goals, your monthly goals, daily, whatever. You can get as granular as you want, but compare the brain dump to your goal list and make sure that they align. Because I've seen this so many times. People are spending their time doing all these busy tasks that don't ladder up to what they actually want to achieve with their goals. After
Mm-hmm.
you have that, you've compared the two, you're like, all right, bet, I'm ready to go. Next thing you want to go and do is set your priorities. A lot of people struggle with setting priorities, but I want to say this too. Busy people prioritize everything equally. Productive people make priorities. They delegate
Mm.
off, they decide when to do things later, and they decide what's important and what's urgent to do this week. And when I say what's important and urgent, think about what are the needle movers in your business? What are the needle movers at work? What are the needle movers in your home? What are the needle movers with your wellness? You see where I'm going with that?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Is going to increase your revenue, increase your business, increase your traffic. Those important things, those are priorities. You take the priorities from that list and you circle them. Identify what are top priorities. Then you can
Okay.
and identify what are second and third priorities. But I really want you to focus in on the first ones. After you
Can
have those,
I ask a question right quick? I'm
yes,
sorry, teacher mode
yes.
here. How many priorities are we circling as when we're circling those top priorities? How many are top? Like, is it limited to like three or
I
something?
would I would say so the range depends. It's really hard to ever say a full range because it depends on the task, what type of task is and the person. But I always say 1 to 7, no more than 1 to 7 per day. So that let's
Okay.
say I'm gonna go with 3 because 3 is a very common number that I see works for people. So let's say you select 3 for each day of the week. So if you're working 7 days a week, that would be 21. But if you're doing only 5, that would be 15. So it really
Mm-hmm.
your 3 priorities for the days you're going to actually be, working, if those are work tasks, or what days you want to allocate to each one. That makes
Okay.
okay.
It does. And I'm taking notes here for y'all too. If y'all don't see, I'm putting it in the chat. Okay. Because listen, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So then after you have those 3 done, and you selected all, well, more than 3, you're gonna have probably, let's say you have 15 because you're doing the 5 days a week. You're going to then take the priorities and you're going to schedule it into your calendar. And that looks different for different people. Maybe you use a planner, maybe you use a digital calendar. I swear by a digital calendar because digital calendars can set reminders off for you. And also you can time block it. And if you don't know what time blocking is, essentially like, creating blocks of meetings of time throughout your calendar. You can get a glance
Mm-hmm.
at where you're going to achieve for the day. So that last step
Okay.
is just getting it into the calendar. And I know this question is probably going to come up. People are going to say, well, how long do I know to allocate for a certain task? Just guesstimate for the first time. If it's a task, you're not sure how long it's going to take you, overestimate the time so you can have some buffer. And as you
Mm-hmm.
start to do this more and more, you start to realize, oh, it only takes me an hour and a half to do that those emails, or it takes me an hour to cook. You'll start to get a better gauge, and each week you'll get tighter and tighter with your schedule.
I love this. I love this. I see. I'm all for a good action step. With some one, twos, threes, fours, and fives. This is good. So I want to go back to a question and something that you said. So Leonard said, "What if you don't have a goal list?" So you were like, and somebody might not have a goal list. Is there a process that we should utilize to create a goal list?
Well, that's a whole nother topic. But if
Oh,
you
that we might have to schedule an appointment, y'all. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
if you don't, so if you don't have a goals list, you can still go through this process without checking against your goals, of course. But I want you to first think about what you actually want to achieve. And this could be simple. It could just be literally getting out a sheet of paper, taking some time to just think about what do you want to achieve this month. I've realized monthly goals are a little more achievable for people. I like to set quarterly goals and yearly goals as well. But if a monthly goal is more achievable for you, sit down and think, what do I really want to achieve this month? And just write those out. And then after you have that big goal out, I do something with my clients where we write out all of the tasks that's going to take to ladder up to achieve that big goal.
Mm-hmm.
Next step
Mm-hmm.
we do from there is we attach deadlines to it. And those deadlines are what we put into their calendar so that they can stay,
Ah.
for achieving them.
Got you. Okay. So I definitely hear you continue to reference the calendar.
Yes.
And I want to ask our community, are you using a calendar? Okay. So let us know in the comments or if we need some additional support around that. I definitely, that's one thing I can say I do now. I live by a calendar.
Yeah.
Like I cannot move without my calendar, but I've got like five of them
Mm-hmm.
because I have so many things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Help me, girl. Help me.
So I recommend syncing them all, right? I hope they're not all separate calendars. How are they set up now?
Well, a few of them are in Gmail, right? But then I also have, so I have my personal calendar. So I told you, I be doing the most, girl. I got all these jobs, right? So, I have my acting and modeling calendar. I have my beautiful brown girls calendar. I have my podcast calendar, right? So all of those are on like different emails. But then I also have my work calendar. So I like need the two of them to live together, but I don't want to put one on the other, right? So I don't want to put my personal stuff on my work calendar and then to put my work calendar on my personal calendar is a lot. So I just don't know. It becomes very overwhelming.
What's stopping you from putting them all together?
I don't know. It's going to be too many things.
Have you tried it out?
No,
I would
no,
say I
no.
because yeah, so that's the thing. A lot of us, I have a client, the exact same thing. She was like, I don't want to even see work on my personal calendar. If you really don't, then keep the two separate calendars. But what I think is the benefit of having both is you get a whole shot of your week. You know when you have meetings, you know when you have free time, you know when you can slip in a little call, personal call. You know
Mm-hmm.
you can do all those things when it's all synced up.
Mm.
And you can add on. So in Gmail, if you look at the Gmail calendar, there's an option to select different calendars. So you can have one up and two up at the same time or take one away. So if you don't want to see it all the time, you can take it off, uncheck it. But if you just need to see it,
Right. That's true.
so you have that
I
option.
receive. I
Yeah.
receive, sis. I receive. I do. I really do. Okay. All right. So let me ask you this, because this is something else that came up in our comments of one of the things that gets in the way are distractions, right? So we done blocked out the time. All
Yeah.
right.
Mm-hmm.
Did that, put it on the calendar. Okay. And then all kind of stuff gets to happening. And now I did not honor that time. What tips can you give us for limiting distractions? And I know there are all types of distractions. Just what can you help us with limiting distractions?
Okay. So the number one distraction I see is digital. People might not like this, but you're gonna need to turn those notifications off. All of them. I mean, phone calls, texts, every social media app. Your phone is
Mm.
put your phone on airplane mode. Silence not even enough.
Mm.
Get it all the way off, and it doesn't have to be all day, but it should be when you want to focus in on a certain task. So let's say
Okay.
you need to work on something for 30 minutes. Turn those notifications off for that time. Completely shut it down. Also, turn off the notifications on your computer because I'll notice too that a lot of people have those notifications going off there. So if your email is going off every second, it's going to distract you. So turn that off as well. And that too makes you nervous. Just do it for the time being when you're working on the task. When you're about to start that task, only have up the tabs that you need. You don't need like 1,000 tabs up. If you're a 1,000 tabs person, I know there's so many. There's this really good plugin called Toby. I think it's gettoby.com.
Are you saying Toby, Toby?
Toby. It's gettoby. I think it's gettoby.com. I can send it to you. It's a
Okay.
plugin, and what it does is it categorizes all of your tabs. So it's great for people who always want to have 1,000 tabs up. You can categorize them up, and that helps you to get that distraction out of the way. Another add on to that, because I saw some people saying like get interrupted by other people. Make sure to set those boundaries. I work in an office. I share office with my fiance. When I need to do something uninterrupted, he knows about it. Whatever group chats I'm in, know about it. Whoever might call me knows about it. I just make sure I set those parameters and that boundaries so that I know, okay, no one's gonna interrupt me during this time. So if I get interrupted, it's because I interrupted myself.
Mm.
Give you even a bonus tip. If you get interrupted by thoughts, or I know a lot of people, idea will come to our head and we want to go on YouTube or we want to Google it, get a notebook. I keep a little notepad. I have little scribbles on this, and I always write down what goes through my head. So I have it all on a running sheet of paper. I release it, and then I focus on the next thing.
Mm.
Because multitasking is horrible. Multitasking is a myth, honestly. It's not even a real thing. All you're doing is costing yourself less focus on multiple different things. So you're switch tasking between a bunch of different things and doing everything at a poor capacity instead of one really well.
Mm. I'm sitting here laughing because I remember when I was a kid, my pastor used to be like, if you can't say amen, say ouch. Ouch. Like, you're all in my business. And I mean, I'm like thankful, whatever, but I don't appreciate it. I just want to put that out there. Like, but I'm going to get Toby. Okay. And I'm going to deal with some of these tasks. Because listen, this be my thing. I like, so, okay. So a few things that you just said, right? So I do, like, I have post-it notes, like, so that's how I kind of like do my brain dumps
Good.
because then I feel accomplished when I could get rid of a post-it note, right? So I'll be like, oh, I did that. And then, I get rid of it, whatever. But my issue becomes with the tabs that I'm working on something, and then if I close out of that, my memory is trash, is what I'm trying to say. I
Okay.
can't remember. So then if I close the tab, now I done forgot what I needed to do because I guess I didn't put it on a post-it note, or I might not have that tab, that site again, right? So like,
Yes, that Toby would be really helpful for you because then
okay.
you can have so the way they do it is it's categorized by different folders. So you can have a folder of things I need to follow up on, and you can just drag that tab right into there. And when you need to remember what I need to focus on, you can go right into it's literally in your tabs. You can go right into it and see that tab and just click on it and go right back to it. So that's going to be a game changer for you, that plugin.
And I'm gonna use it. I put it into the comments for you all. Okay. Um
It's free.
Joanne said it's Toby free.
Yeah, it is free.
Okay, perfect, perfect. All right, we're receiving, sis. We're receiving. We might be having ouch moments, okay, but listen, if type in the comments, either type amen or ouch. Okay, I'm gonna type ouch because anyway. So something else that we were talking about. So you were fussing at me the other day because I was talking about my list,
Yeah.
and
I don't
I was
know,
like,
but
we're not fussing. You were just giving strong suggestions. Okay. But I received it, y'all. Like I was listening. But you were saying like not to make a really long list. And I heard you allude to it just a moment ago, like not to make a list for a month. But like even in a day, Sade, I be having so much stuff that I need to do. Like, what is the right way to make a list so that I don't forget all these things that I have to do? Because my fear is I'm going to forget.
so that brain dump that I mentioned can be a running list. You can use that as your end all be all list that you can just keep running so you don't forget things.
Okay.
But that step of setting the priorities is what's going to save you. So before you even enter your day, you've already selected your top 3, top 5 priorities. You don't want to gauge away from that until those things are done. This is a really
Okay.
key thing that people I see so many clients go against this. Don't add on tasks until you finish the top priorities. When you get those 5 things done, add on whatever you want if you have some more time. But if those are not done, do not add in things before you finish the priorities you set for yourself. Unless you truly have to adapt because maybe something became more pressing, do your best not to though. And I think most of us can gauge whether or not something's super pressing and needs to take more priority over something we already set.
Okay. All right. I can receive that too. Okay. So you had mentioned a little bit ago, I'm having my ouch moments, but it's all good. Um, so you said a little bit ago about boundaries. So
Yeah.
again, when we were looking back at what our biggest struggles are with time management, and people were saying, not logging off of work or being a workaholic or whatever. Can you talk to us some more about how to set those boundaries? Because you said as far as protecting the time, but what if we're protecting it from us? Like, we're the issue. Like, how do we set appropriate boundaries to be able to honor that? I feel like you get this question all the time, don't you?
I get, not even that I get it all the time. I am that person. I still
Oh,
am
cool.
that person where I need to set up boundaries to stop working. I love my work. And if you're out there and you love the work or you have so much work to do, I feel you. The thing that I do is I set timers on my phone, like alarms, not timers, alarms. So the alarms go off and they'll tell me you need to stop working. And then,
Mm-hmm.
and I set that one about 15 minutes before I really want to stop working. And then at
Mm-hmm.
the time when I want to stop, I'm like, no, for real, stop working. It's like I literally have those 2 alarms that go off, remind me. And then the next thing I do on my calendar where my time blocks are, I have my office hours set up. So I know that I'm not working past a certain time. And the way I make sure to abide by that on my calendar is I set up at about an hour, 2 hours of things I'm going to do for fun. So
Mm-hmm.
setting up that fun helps me realize, oh wait, I'm gonna stop working because I'm about to go watch my favorite show. I'm about to go hang out with my fiance. I'm gonna go out to dinner.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever it is. Putting something on there that's gonna break up the day and remind you to step away from the desk because rest is also productive and you need it to be more productive.
Now that's a word right there. Okay. So Rue has a question kind of related to that. If we're time blocking and there's a task that hasn't been completed, do we continue to work? Do we move on to the next task? Do we circle back later? What does that look like?
So that is completely dependent on the person. What I would recommend is if the thing you have to do next is more pressing than finishing the first one, then go ahead to the next one and circle back to that one later. Set up time for it later on another day. If it's not, then just continue on with the one you were working on and move the task that you were supposed to do to another day. You always want to be adapting. Another thing I see all the times with clients, they won't do something and they'll just either just leave it there or they'll delete it and never get back to it. You want to make sure that you are always adapting and moving things around so that you get it done.
Mm-hmm. Perfect. Okay, y'all keep the questions coming, okay? Because we want to shout it. She's efficient. You see how she even answering these questions, honey? She hit it and she out of there. Honey. I love it. So get them in.
I
So
don't like fluff. I'm very like, let me get to the point, grab the value, and then that's it.
we're here for it. We are here for it, honey. We're gonna maximize this hour. You hear me? Okay. So we have these side hustlers, like, so I'm one of them. And if so I only have so much time outside of my 9 to 5 and all these other 7 jobs that I have, right? So what tips do you have for those of us who are trying to balance a full-time job as well as a side hustle and family and life, and all those things? Like, what advice can you give us for how to maximize the time that we do have so that we can help to build the side hustle into hopefully transitioning into full-time entrepreneurship?
All right. So my first tip is going to be similar to what I was saying, setting up office hours. So very often I see people want to mix in their side hustle, their time with their family, work time, especially when you're home. You want to just mix it all into one.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Try to avoid doing that because what happens a lot of time is a work meeting will pop up and it throws you off your day. And then you're like, oh, I'm stressed. And all these things go in disarray. You want to make sure that, okay, if I'm working from 9 to 5, that's when I'm working my job. If I'm doing my side hustle from 5 to 7, that's when I'm doing my side hustle. If I'm hanging out with my kids from 8 to 9, that's what I'm doing. Making sure you allocate and compartmentalize all the different aspects of your life is just already going to be a big game changer. Also, making sure that your weekends are precious to your business. Your weekdays are already strapped. We know that. So don't take your jobs onto the weekend. As much as you can, try to avoid that. Don't do that. That way you have way more time to allocate to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Second tip I would give for that is if you haven't heard of batch working, I highly suggest batching. So
What's
batching
that?
is when you see your tasks that are very similar all together and you get them done at once. So let's say on Saturday you write all of your Instagram content, and that's what you do on Saturdays. Let's say you write it all out for the 7 days. Then maybe on Monday you schedule all the tasks for the rest of the week. So making sure that you're separating all the different aspects of things you need to do. Or maybe on Monday you're editing and Tuesday you're posting. You can decide what the tasks are going to be, but just make sure you're batching a bunch all at one time and theming the tasks where you're doing the same type of task in a time frame. What happens when you're doing the same type of task is that you're already in the mindset of doing that one,
Mm-hmm.
bang it out. You ever realize when you're in that creative, you have the flow and you're just like
Yeah.
everything. But then as soon as you try to do something like analytical or technical, you're like, well, not ready to do that. I had to switch. And your brain like kind of takes about 20 to 25 minutes to switch in between tasks. So when the tasks are very similar, it's so much easier to just bang them out. I used to do this when I worked in corporate. I had a very demanding career. And then I would come home and I'd be like, oh, I don't want to work on my blog. I'm so tired. But
Yes.
the great thing that I
A
started doing
story.
yes, exactly. This great thing I started doing was I would already have all the content written over the weekends. Saturday mornings, I would have that creativity. I would just bang them all out. I already would have an editorial calendar of my topics. It was easy. And then maybe on a Monday night, all I had to do was just edit one post. And that took me maybe an hour. And then I would always set up a reward after. So like if I was gonna do that, then I get to like eat ice cream or like do whatever, set up a reward or something.
Mm-hmm.
I love ice cream. So that's a good reward for me. And having that reward made me want to act. It made me want to just bang it out in that 1 hour. And then I would schedule it to post on a Wednesday. And then I was done. I had content going out consistently. So that alone, if you start doing that, really honing in on what themes for each of your days are and what you can get done ahead of time, it's gonna really change the game for you. You don't want to be doing the same task every single week, one by one, when you can group it up and do like 5 at a time.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I told you I want to be an Instagram influencer. So I'm playing, but I'm serious. So I can totally see how that can be productive because there are so many steps to the process, and my brain is not always ready for all of the steps. So honoring the step that I'm on and just doing everything in that vein at one time. Yes.
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 Yeah, and that's what influencers do. Like seriously, I work with influencers. I am one. Batch things out ahead of time. They do photo shoots. We do like bunch of content all at one time. Makes it way easier.
Yes. Yes. Oh my gosh, this is about to change my life. I am too excited.
I love it.
So, I want to go back to something else that you said. Like you keep throwing these nuggets and then I'm like, I want to go back. You said rest is also productive.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about that, please.
Yes. So I have this I really hate the hustle culture. It just grinds my gears. It gets me so upset. That's why I'm honing in on that fire that I have about it. But it's just because I think it gives this perception that everyone who's successful is working, working, working all the time. They're working
Yeah.
7. That's just not the case. And I know for some people that's maybe what they show on social media, but a lot of times people show is not true. And also, a lot of those people who look like they're working all the time have these large teams that they're working with so that they can actually be going all the time.
Right.
What you need to do is take time to get sleep. Sleep is one of the best ways to restore your mind. Like they say if you get under a certain amount of hours of sleep, I think it's like under 4 or under 6 hours of sleep, you're pretty much drunk. So imagine trying to do your work drunk. How productive can you be? Like you can't. Your brain literally didn't get time to restore. Your mind didn't get time to be still. And when you're on digital devices all day, especially now, all our meetings are via Zoom. Our,
Right.
our minds are always stimulated. They don't have any time to be still. You need time to be still and to restore your brain for your overall health, for your well-being in general, but especially for your productivity. And I want to give the example too that I have a client who in the middle of the day, she goes for a walk. And at first she was like, I don't want to do that. And I was like, you need to get moving because you work really long hours in the morning and then you try to work really long hours at night. And if you don't get outside and get your blood flowing and just get a change of pace, you literally will burn out. And she started doing that and realizing that when she came back inside, she was way more productive. Her mind was more clear. That break really helped restore her. And I do things like that. I take midday breaks to meditate, to read, to walk around my neighborhood. These things are so important. I stress breaks. I think when people hear I'm a time management coach, they think I'm going to tell them every minute of your day needs to be planned out, make sure
Right.
all the time. And I'm going to be like, no, how many times are you breaking? When are you taking a meal break without your phone, just mindfully eating? When are you drinking that water? How many liters of water are you drinking? Are you moving your body?
She judging my life, y'all. I don't appreciate this. I'm just go ahead, sis. Keep talking.
You have to be doing these things. I have so many clients that go, I work through lunch, I forget to eat. Your mind needs nutrients to work. If you ever realize you get a headache out of nowhere and you feel drained or you start to feel sick, it's because you didn't eat, because your body literally didn't get those veggies in, those carbs, that protein. Don't let me go into food and nutrition, but you have all of those things. Everything is tied together. You can't just be productive without having really good wellness practices. Ouch. Yes, this is why ouch is a good thing. If you guys are being pushed and challenged and you're being uncomfortable, that's how you grow. So I hope this is helpful.
You right. I'm just saying. Sorry, and me and you, boo. Like I'm like, let me drink my water, sis. I did not tell her to stay out of my business when we first started this.
Yes, you need
Girl.
that water. Your brain is made up of, I think it's 70 or 80% water. You need water to even think clearly. Yeah.
You're right. You are definitely talking to me. I am horrible at eating. I will say all the time, I don't eat enough. I seldom, and I literally, because I work remotely, I am literally here. Now, I do have a standing desk.
Yeah.
So that is something that I did for myself. But then I'm in the meetings like this. And they're like, can you keep me? I'm like, no.
Get those steps.
Right. But what I will say today, actually, I had a really early morning. And then I knew I was going to be doing this evening, right? So it's warmer outside today, right? I talked about how it's 60 something degrees. So when I finished work, I felt so tired, and everything in me was like, take a nap. And then I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna take a walk instead. And I did. And I went outside, and usually, like, I have my crew that I talk on the phone with or whatever and kind of debrief the day. And I did that while I was walking. And I came back in, I ate dinner. And then I was like, okay, let me get ready for the show. And I did. I felt a lot better. So I receive,
Yeah.
I really do.
Plan that and look at how that example aligned with what happened today. This is amazing. Okay, good.
Yeah, exactly. So to planning, right? Actually putting that into the calendar, because the other day it got really sunny here, and my intention was to go outside and take a walk, but instead I got caught up in doing something, returning emails or something like that, and I didn't follow through on that. And then the next time I turned around, the sun was gone and the day was over. So I was like, oh man, I wanted to go outside and take a walk. So as I'm listening to you, I'm just thinking of how I can insert this stuff into my calendar in between these meetings, where I'm doing better at leaving space in between them, but actually not still sitting here at the computer, actually taking a walk, or actually like labeling what this space is. This is when I'm going to eat. This is when I'm going to go to the bathroom. Like, these are the simple things that, especially as an educator, like, we forsake those types of things all the time. So I'm here. I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Okay. I'm hearing you. So Joanne had a question, and y'all, we literally have like 5 or 6 minutes left to take questions. So please get them into the comments while we have Sade here. So she said, do you put your brain dump notebook on your bedside table, or do you only limit it to certain times? That's a good question, Joanne.
Yeah, I like that. I actually never got that. So I keep it for certain times. I don't look at it until I'm ready to plan out for the week. But if I feel like I need to add something to it, I'll pull it out and I'll add something to it to make sure I keep a note of it. But I don't take anything off that list and put it on my calendar until I've completed everything that's on my calendar already. It's very rare that I complete everything for the week and then be able to have it on. If you do, then that's when you go back in and
And do you block out a certain time, Sade, to do that? Like, is that a Sunday afternoon task, or are you doing things daily? Like, what does that look like? That transfer process?
yes. So I have my Sunday planning. I have a schedule. I actually have two meetings. I do my scheduling meeting and then I have a financial meeting that I do with my fiance. So we have those two meetings back to back on Sundays where we plan out our week and then we plan out our money and everything. And then daily, I look back onto my calendar to make sure I'm on track. So this is also very key. If on Monday some things happen, I had to move client meetings around, I didn't get to this and that, I have to now take what didn't happen and move it. So it may need
Mhm.
to get moved to Tuesday, which means Tuesdays they need to get moved to Wednesday, and Wednesday may need to
Right.
be Thursday, and on and on and on. So a lot of times I have to sometimes adapt or move things to the next week and be okay with that. That happens. Life happens. Just majority of the time you want to make sure you're avoiding that. But it's very important to, if you do have to adapt, just making sure that you move those things around. So I do that on a nightly basis. Just I always want to know the night before what I need to accomplish the morning of. I'm never going to tell someone because I know this is another big thing. People say part of your morning routine should be setting up your day. No, you want to wake up with that clarity already there. You want to wake up, jump into that morning routine, and then go right into that first task because it's scheduled and you know exactly how your day is going to go, pre-planned from last night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So
Oh,
it's a part of the nightly routine.
yes, I think your next day begins the night before.
Mm. Okay. All right. So then you mentioned morning routine. Talk to us about what that looks like.
Okay, so I have a longer acronym, but I'll sum it up. So essentially, the four things I think should be in everybody's morning routine. An acronym is time. I think it's cute. I think it's memorable. The first thing for T is doing some type of thankfulness. So you want to have some type of gratitude practice. What I do, I journal out what I'm grateful for. I love writing. I have clients who like to recite it out to themselves or they like to say it to someone else. Pick whatever method works for you. I like to write it out. After I do that, then the I is for something that's inspirational. I need to feel inspired in the morning. I believe it or not, I'm not a morning person. It's not my favorite time of the day, even though I'm a time manager coach and I wake up. That don't mean I like the morning. So what I need in the morning is something inspirational. So I throw on. I have a playlist of. I listen to a YouTuber. His name is Evan Carmichael. He has a lot of believe. He has a Believe Nation YouTube, and he just has so many inspirational videos. So I love to get that into my brain, just thinking about what I'm going to get accomplished for the day. I start to visualize it. I get excited. And then the M is for meditation. I think everyone needs to have some quiet time. I meditate. I use the Calm app. I really like it. I meditate for about 10 minutes, get that out of the way. The last thing I do is exercise. And I do a full workout later in the day, but in the morning, I like to do a nice stretch. So, like yoga or some type of movement. It is amazing, you guys. Even if you just did like 10 push-ups or 20 jumping jacks, something even light, just to get your blood flowing makes you think better. Like, because I had a lot of clients, they snooze all the time. And I'm like, you got to stop the snoozing because the snoozing is signaling that you are not getting quality sleep. And it does not help you to keep waking up, going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep because you're not getting quality sleep in that time frame.
Right.
You
Yeah.
basically, you're just like delaying your day. So the first things I always recommend in the morning, as soon as you wake up, get out of your bed. Your alarm should be in a place far away from you where you have to get up and out. I keep my alarm in another room because my bathroom is attached. I can get up and grab it. Next thing I do, I turn that alarm off. I drink a liter of water. You don't have to go that far. You could drink 8 ounces or maybe 12 or 16 ounces, but get a significant amount of water, not a little like sip. Drink
Mm-hmm.
a lot of water to kind of wake you up. And then I do a little quick stretch before I start the whole routine that I just mentioned, because that's going to get you up and out of the bed. Oh, and you want to make sure that you are making up the bed. Make up that bed so you don't get back in it, because making up the bed is the first accomplishment of your day. So make sure you get that done.
I am gonna laugh so hard when I go back and see my faces as you keep staying in my business. Okay. Okay, we can do that. We can do that. What did you say that I wanted? Oh, talking about yoga. So that's something else. Oh, and I love this is what I was going to say. I love how the intersection of wellness um, goes so perfectly with what we're talking about with time management. So thinking about those self-care pieces and thinking about nutrition and how all of this is creating time for us to be able to live a healthier, more balanced life.
Yeah.
So I can appreciate that. And our last couple episodes of Brown Girl Boss, we had yoga instructors on. So that is something that I actually just started doing was utilizing yoga. And when you talked about stretching, like my body was like, ma'am, I
Mhm.
need you to stretch, right? And it does. It makes such a big difference. So I can amen that. Who was this? Caitlin says she loved the tip of keeping your phone away. That way you have to get it. But my issue is I have Alexa. She probably gonna talk when I say her name. I got whisper. I have Alexa. So my alarm is that's my alarm. Like that's when my morning routine starts. So like it'll start. I didn't like waking up to like a like type of alarm, right? So I felt like I wanted to do a peaceful transition, like in Coming to America. You know how they like played the nice song and he just wakes up so gracefully. I was like, I want that. I could do that. But what happens is then I can just yell at her to turn it off and I'm not getting up. So I think I might take the alarm part off and have like still the music, but not actually have the alarm on
Yeah.
there.
Make it where you have to do a motion because then you're way more likely
Yeah.
to bed. Anytime you can roll over, say something, you're gonna
Right.
because it's too easy. You want to create so another thing with creating better habits is you want to create some friction to those bad habits. Meaning you want to make it harder to fall back into the bad habits and you want to make it easier to pick up those good habits. It's like when you want to stop eating junk food. If you have it in the house, if you have it in front of you,
Right.
but if that apple and those carrots are right there, you're gonna
Yeah.
so thinking about it that way, making it easier for the good habits to come into play.
I hear that. I hear that. So we're about to wrap up, Sade, but I need you to tell us where we can find you, how we can work with you. What do you have coming up? Because, child, I feel like we some of us need the intensive course, girl. Like, what? How can we get your help?
I love that because everything I'm sharing is great tips. They're practical, but they're general, right? So it's always great to get on a call with me. I offer free strategy sessions because I know that I need to be able to provide specific tips to a specific person's problems. So you can find me on Instagram. My Instagram is right here, Sade Jones _. In my Instagram bio, you will see how to book a free call with me. I have some openings for next week, so you want to get on that calendar as soon as you can. But also following along with me because I always share productivity tips on the daily. And also, I'm going to be doing a master class that I haven't said and showed to anyone. Exclusives tonight.
We get all the exclusives. I'm excited.
Yes, it's going to be towards the end of March on March 25th. And to find out the time and the details on how to sign up, you have to be following me because I always announce it to my email list first, and then I announce it on my Instagram. So yeah, it's another thing. If you want to join me on my email list, you can also find that through the link in my bio. But those are the best ways to work with me. Even my free strategy sessions are very valuable because I'm going to take you through how to get clear on where your time is being spent and what you can do to better your habits and how you're spending your time, regardless of whether or not you want to do my one-on-one coaching program, which is open. I'm taking potential clients now. It launches in April. But even if that isn't something you want to do at the moment, these calls are still beneficial because I'm going to leave you with something to take away and change in your life.
Love it. So we can access that through Insta. It's probably the best way through the bio.
Yeah, through the link in my bio. You can put my Instagram. That is the best way to find everything.
Perfect, perfect. So again, Sade's Instagram handle is there on the screen, and then I'm also going to go ahead and drop this link in the comments for us in case you wanted to click directly on it. So that's there. All right, man, this was good. I can't wait to go back and watch this replay. So if you could leave us, Sade, with one enduring thought or one final thought, how would you like to leave us this evening?
I want everyone tonight, if you don't already have this on your calendar, if you don't even use a calendar, this could be the only thing on the calendar. Put in a meeting for scheduling your week. You can call it whatever you can call it your scheduling meeting, whatever you want to call it. Just set up that time so that you can look at the holistic view of how you're going to spend your time for the week and spend that time planning your tasks, planning your meals, planning how you want your intentions to be for that week. Please go ahead and do that. That will be my one takeaway. If people just started planning ahead, life could be so much more freeing. I think a common thing people think is, oh, I want to live in the present. I want to just be free. I want to decide in the moment. And to an extent, I get that, but you're going to have more free time if you're planning out ahead of time what you're going to get done. So you can get those things out of the way and you can have those free days. I plan so well that my Fridays are a completely free day.
Mm.
Every other day is planned out, but Friday I wake up and I can be free to do whatever I want because I know I've already got those responsibilities done.
Mm. Yeah, this is good. This is really good. Man. So y'all, drop your biggest takeaway here in the comments, and we are definitely going to be meeting over in our beautiful brown girls social space, our social network. And let me put that up. So let me stop scrolling that for just a second and put that up. If you go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com, you'll be able to join us in our social network, and that is our space off of Facebook, off of free from the algorithm, where we're able to really be our beautiful brown selves without any type of filtering or anything like that. But meet us over there in the members network to continue this conversation and continue talking about what this looks like, right? So again, for this month in March, we're really talking about renewal and rejuvenation and really thinking about resetting. So this is the perfect opportunity for us to put this into practice, as Sade has made us uncomfortable, but with purpose, so that we grow, right? I had a few ouch moments, but it's all coming from a really good place. So we definitely want to honor that and continue this conversation and continue holding each other accountable so that we are able to really live our very best lives. That's what we stand for here at Beautiful Brown Girls. So continue dropping those takeaways into the chat. The conversation never stops here. Again, you can still share the broadcast with your network. They're still able to access the replay and can still contribute in the comments. So oftentimes people are still commenting after the fact. So we want to keep this conversation going because this has been a value add, like absolutely. So Sade, we want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I want to thank you from the bottom of mine for pouring out all of these nuggets and just really taking the time to help usher in this next level of productivity for our lives.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. This has been an amazing opportunity. You have such an engaged community. I love looking at the comments. I'm glad it was so helpful. And I love talking about these things. So anytime you want to talk about this, girl, I'm ready.
Absolutely, girl. We might have to have you back, shoot, or do an exclusive, since we got all the exclusives, an exclusive Beautiful Brown Girls masterclass or something.
Yes,
So
I would love
we'll
that.
have to talk about that and how to keep you connected to us, because you're officially a member of the family now.
Oh, yeah.
So you are not getting rid of us, honey. We need to make sure that we stay connected and look for opportunities to be able to have this, because this was so very impactful. So BBG family, again, we want to make sure we head over to Sade's Instagram page. So go over to her Insta, click the link, follow her, get on the email list, like make sure that you stay connected so that we're really able to benefit from this. And also make sure, again, that you get connected to us. So go to members.beautifulbrowngirls.com. You can also go to our Facebook page, and on our Facebook page, Beautiful Brown Girls, you'll be able to like us there. We have a Facebook group called Beautifully Shaded, and our Insta handle is Beautifully Shaded. And on Twitter, our handle is Beautiful Brown You. I would also love if you would hang out with me on my Insta. So you can find me at Kimberlyn J or at my website, KimberlynJackson.com. So definitely want to make sure that we stay connected. First time viewers, we want y'all to come back. We have another episode of Brown Conversations this upcoming Monday where we talk about all the things that are important to Brown people. And then we'll have our next episode of Brown Girl Boss, not next Wednesday, but the Wednesday after. So thank you all again for being so phenomenal. Thank you, Sade, for everything that you've shared. And y'all, we will be in touch real soon. Okay. See y'all soon.
Bye. Good night.
Bye, y'all.